We are live.
Are we live again?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It was tough getting you back now.
You didn't sign me up for this now when you told me to come up here.
I'm telling you now.
You're made for it, mate.
How I got them to sit back at the table after part one. As I said in the Instagram live, I'm basically a modern day John Hume. I brought the two of you back together.
Do you know what?
We'll keep this one a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
We'll try anyway.
Yeah, we will try.
So
how long was that going to last?
free speech.
no.
We'll go in. We'll start with.
Where do we leave off? Where do we leave off?
I tell you what I'd like to do, right?
Yeah.
Because we do want to really talk about the free speech laws
Mhm.
that are being implemented
Mhm.
or being talked about a lot at the moment. Obviously, you have some very succinct.
I'd say
opinions
he's just
about it.
itching.
Yeah, and obviously it could affect all of us, so it could be quite important. Thank you for coming back to the Dead Hedgehogs. First of all, guys, if you
Yeah.
haven't subscribed
Thanks for
already,
coming
please hit the subscribe button
And
press
thanks
the
for
like.
everyone that got involved in the part one or round one. At this stage, I'm calling it round one, and this is round two.
Obviously, my name is Chris Gavigan. That's Stephen Kelly, and welcome to Maurice from the Longacre.
Call me what you like.
Maurice is a legend. We're already
Absolute.
messing. It was all in good jest.
It's all good jest.
Yeah,
good
it's
scrap
good,
is needed
healthy,
every
a
now
good,
and again.
healthy,
Yeah.
a good, and that's the thing. This is what the platform is about. Is to get a good, healthy, heated. It doesn't matter conversation. We get everyone's thoughts out, and it's like as I described to them afterwards of the last live. It's like when you're playing football. It's like when you're playing football, and you're two opposing teams, and you sledge each other. You give everything on the field. As soon as you cross the white line again, that it's all forgotten about. I mean, that doesn't mean that your opinions change or your views change, but
It's passionate again.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
We've got 37 people on at the moment.
Excellent.
And it's going up and up. Only 2 people have liked the stream so far. So
Like
if
the
you
stream,
don't-
Remember to like it, guys.
if you don't
'Cause-
like the stream, then you'll have bad points for the full
bad
Christmas.
pints
So
for all
it's-
of Christmas.
It's up to you. Get in the comments, have a chat with us. Tell us where you're from.
Let us know if the sound is okay as well.
Yeah.
Tell us the sound is good because I got a few people messaged me there. All right, said I'm muttering. That's not
Yeah,
new.
it's not.
Positive
It's not
energy
used to being.
back.
Stop messaging me, by the way.
Positive energy mod is
Excellent,
back.
excellent.
Brilliant. Hit the likes, folks. You don't want those bad points.
No.
Yeah, first of all, we kind of glossed over your page a little bit at the
Longacre.
first video and the Longacre. I want to go into
I
your
want
story a
to,
little bit.
exactly. I want to
How you're
learn a
living.
little bit about how you're living because it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. You
That's
were a
where I wanna
fascinating
go.
character 2 years ago, and you're still a fascinating character.
Right, the weird and the wonderful, as I say. Look, I managed to get the house. So we've said this in the recorded one. I acquired the house during COVID. I was lucky. It's just all my cards came together and I got the house. Didn't quite have enough funding, and as a young single white male in this country, you're not really well looked after in the banks. I'll say that straight. If you're in a couple, you're better off.
Whereas years ago, it didn't matter.
No,
You
it
were
didn't matter.
yeah, 110% mortgages,
Yeah.
That's not strictly true either. It's
which
not
I
that
found out to my demise.
you found out the hard way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I only have the one.
Why
house.
can't
I
I
don't
get
have as many
comments
as
on
you.
this?
But like, let's just say this. I don't want that anyway. I don't want to be putting that noose around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be as self-sustaining as possible in the future, be it food-wise, energy-wise, every sort of aspect of it. So I'm trying to create a homestead for myself. I'm trying to be independent because the world is going in such a way now that they're going to tie you up. So it's a case of, as we're going to.
And you're convinced of that, like
convinced. I
Yeah.
promise.
yeah,
It's,
okay.
and it's not a promise I take pride in.
No, I know.
It's happening. Your government has explained it to you in the small print.
In the small print,
They have signed away.
I hate the small. And you see, the problem with small print is no one reads it.
No one reads it except weirdos like me. So the thing is, as I've said, I think we said earlier on today, like the Irish government on your behalf, without your consent, has agreed to Agenda 2030, which a lot of the sustainability goals are going to be introduced by 2025. And those 17 goals will basically remove your independency as a person. And
Okay.
you would say, well, how is this possible? And how does it tie into what I'm doing? If I have nothing they can take away or they can ration to me, if they can't ration electricity, if they can't ration food to me, if they can't ration, you know, goods and services to me, what the fuck can they do to me?
So you're not tied to you're not tied to the ESB. You don't have electricity.
You've no ESB.
No
I
running
live
water.
without electricity and water.
I can understand. I can see how you could live without electricity. And
my latrine is
going
very
off.
fancy, and don't go there.
Right.
It's a very nice high mag bucket with a toilet seat on top.
Yeah,
right?
that was my
And
question.
It doesn't have it doesn't have an automatic emptier. It's not automatic. You do have.
So you're gone old school.
I'm gone old school.
You're gone Peaky Blinders.
Out in the bucket.
1920s, 1930s.
To an extent. But look, if you're smart, you shit in work time.
Yeah.
There's no better time to shit than on company time.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, my boss gonna kill me for that one. But
I've had many a good shit at work.
Exactly. But
Beautiful.
that only slightly ties
It's a
into
beautiful vision of the two of you.
But like, I have a septic tank and all that there, but you need running water to run all these things.
Yeah.
And you know, like I have a well, but again, you need electricity.
Don't shit into the well though.
Never shit into the well. But, so I have a well, I have water, I have it pumped, I have it plumbed. I'm like 99% of the way there. I could be 100% of the way there next month if I so choose to be.
Yeah.
But that's the easy option.
Yeah.
Okay. And that ties certain nooses and things over you, and it leaves you with the obligation of not being able to walk away from situations.
Yeah.
Whereas I have the power now to walk away.
It's like, is it tough? Can it be tough?
It can be mentally wearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet it. Like, would you? I know you said that you insulated the place and you got, but obviously, open fire is
So
the
at
main
the moment,
main source. Is it?
When I go home in the evenings, my first thing is I have a little stove. Now I have a range with a back boiler, but that can't be ran without the water system working. So can't use the range at the moment. I have just a little small stove. I can put a kettle on it and I can put a small pan on it. So I can cook a steak, I can make tea or coffee, and I boil water for hot water.
But you've no fridge, so you have to buy.
Yeah, I buy on the day.
Yeah.
Primarily.
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny. When you're a single man on your own, you kind of live that way anyway.
Yeah, true.
It's going home.
That
in
is
the
true.
evenings,
I
get a
mean,
steak,
yeah.
like my dinner
Is that the reason you're single?
is the reason I'm single. How I live.
He's thinking of the toilet again.
Yeah, no. I do not bring women home. Okay.
Yeah.
But I would be very much of the mindset that I'm not looking to bring someone home there unless they're permanent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And they do, and like shitting in the bucket.
No, it's not going to be the case that they're going to be. But do you know something? I would rather somebody take interest in me now.
Yes,
than
of
when I
course.
have everything. Let
Yeah,
them-
I
let
do
them-
jest, of course.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. But like, I would much rather somebody like you when they think you can't afford the bread versus when you own the bakery.
Well, listen, you've your own roof above your head,
Like,
which
I
a
see
lot
people-
of people your age don't have.
They don't have, and those that do have it are under a lot of pressure, and
Mhm.
they're going to be under more pressure in the coming months. There's no way to be around it. Like, a recession is around the corner.
What about
I am-
heat?
My heat.
Yeah. Is
Like,
it cold at night?
No.
Oh, the
It's
fire.
Like, it's an old style house.
Yeah.
So the walls are 2.5 foot thick.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a modern build at the end where my bedroom was. It was gone beyond disrepair. So that's been modernized. But I would much rather do it as I always say to people, it's short term gains for long term sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be out with this before I'm 40. For
Mhm.
money wise.
Yeah, of course.
Like, there's no need for these humongous houses and these 300-400 grand mortgages. And the way I look at, like, I'm not that
I
way
think people
inclined.
got caught up on that
Yeah,
in
and it's-
Celtic Tiger.
It's looking at, what's the Joneses doing next door.
But another thing I'm going to say to you is that I hope all our mics are okay.
Yep.
The reason that there was also another reason that there was so many big houses built was the sites were so expensive.
Yeah, they had to
Yes.
justify.
They
it.
had to
They had to
justify.
justify
Yeah.
to give value to the
They had to
mortgage.
justify it exactly.
Yes.
And the size of the house, like you couldn't build a 2-bedroom house and for
Sure.
you're paying €100,000 for a site.
Yeah.
In some instances,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's no exaggeration. And
And
that
I-
wasn't even in the best parts of Ireland.
No.
Not that there's any bad parts of Ireland, but
Yeah, like again, it became inherent value had
Yeah.
to be something that was sell on, or the banks weren't going to give something that was going to see a decrease in value being so small that they couldn't sell it if
Yeah.
they had to repossess it.
yeah,
Like, the way I am at the moment is it's workable for me on my own. I can make my payments every week of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And rather than just, as I said, just crucifying yourself. And if anything, it's taught me resilience. It's taught me to be more organized. Like, you're going to have your, not going to say shit together because you're obsessed with the bucket, but you're more organized in how you do things. And like, I've no problem saying it. You'd never see me dirty or smelly.
Mhm.
I am washed every night. I go to a local truck stop. And this baffles people. They're like, oh, how could you walk in there? And like, I meet people I know. And like, you'd see them, look, they know why I'm going in. Like, they see the backpack on my back.
Yeah.
But like, why would you have any shame in that? I'd have more shame if I was walking around like a scruffy bastard.
Yeah.
Like, I wash my clothes in the local, you know, them outdoor
Yeah.
laundrette
Yeah.
jugs.
Yeah.
All my
So you
businesses are
can,
done.
it is possible to live off grid in Ireland.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I'd love to
people-
do it. I'd love to do
people
it. And I
have-
know that you'll find that fascinating.
No, I find it fascinating. We were discussing
We
earlier.
discussed
We
this
had
earlier.
we were kind of there's some parts of reality
that people don't
still
understand.
that people don't understand about. It was like, I remember I had an ex-girlfriend that wanted to live off grid, but like she had no means of income, so
Yeah.
she would have still relied on the state. So you're never going to be off grid
Yes,
if you're going to
I
be
get you.
relying on.
You're not off grid
taxes.
if you exactly. Yeah.
What I would explain to people is that, like, I do the stuff online. I don't, like, you guys know me. I don't push. I don't work for any companies. I don't do any of this. But if I had all the money in the morning, I'd fucking vanish. Does that make sense? I'm not doing any of this for my own gain as such. It's not about money. It's not about these things. I'm touching on the key subjects that we're touching on here tonight and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I had my way in the morning, I would just vanish.
In what
Like, just
way?
delete the accounts and just live up there.
Okay.
And be fucking happy
Yes.
and live. People
Okay.
are not living.
Yeah, they're
People
not.
don't live. They're obsessed with this consumerism.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with getting the photo in the fucking restaurant at their dinner. Eat the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it tastes like? Does the photo tell you
Yeah,
what it tastes like?
yeah,
You don't even
you know.
remember.
No, of course not.
I was
And
I was
it's
I was
all them
sick.
things.
I actually was disappointed in myself today.
Yeah,
I took
you
a
whipped
pic.
out the phone. I was like, what
I
the
took a
fuck
picture.
is
The
he
dinner
doing?
looked so nice. I actually
But
took a
in
picture of the
fairness
dinner.
to you give great scope for businesses when you visit them.
I do.
And like,
I do.
so I totally get that, right?
Yeah.
And anywhere I go in,
And I don't
wouldn't
do
ask
it for like when I share it,
Yeah.
that'll be tomorrow. I'll be
Yeah,
gone.
exactly.
I don't do it
like
because
to do
I'm
it that way.
there.
I like to be gone
Yeah.
the next day or
Yeah.
later on in the afternoon because I don't want them.
If I get
don't
good
want them.
service, I like good service to be rewarded.
Yeah. I do, and we spoke about this earlier about sharing posts for
Yeah.
little businesses and stuff. We're not looking for the thanks. It's like, if we don't know, we want to do it,
Mhm.
and we're happy for you. But back to the living thing, like, you know, there's a big misunderstanding with people in this country that they think that if Armageddon comes in the morning, that they're going to live in the bushes around Ireland. No, you're not. There's not to eat in this country.
Yeah.
Even the best of us who know how to live in this country, who understand bush skills,
100%.
and stuff like this, will tell you there's nothing to eat. If you can't catch it and kill it, you ain't going to live. Like,
Yeah.
these lads are talking about nuts, berries, and nettles. So
We don't have that.
Yeah.
we don't have enough.
You have an element of it, but it's not really.
Well,
going to-
if
Well, this
if
time
5
of
million
year-
of us
survive
this
like a
time of
famine
year-
if 5 million of us had to go out tomorrow,
Yeah.
it'd be gone. It'd be gone in
You'd
like
be
3
gone.
hours.
Be Slim Pickens.
Well, this time of year, you would see any berries
Well,
on
that's
the
true.
bushes.
too.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but like I'm just
You
explaining. Like,
might get no slow. And
yeah.
yeah,
I tried eating one of them
No.
as a child, and
They're
I'm
not
still
nice.
feeling the effects.
it would
Yeah.
not go well.
No.
But so there's that element. But people don't realize now, and this is why I'm very conscious of people when I hear them getting planning and they're saying, "I've no chimney in the house." Okay, so
Yeah.
lights out tomorrow. You've no electricity. Your air to water system don't work. You've no gas. You depend fully on electricity. You can't cook. You can't heat. You can't clean. What are you doing? So this is how easily they're going to introduce a digital ID system on people. This is how easy they're going to introduce their totalitarian agendas in the future. Whereas if you come up to me and you go, "Oh, Maurice, you can't go into town anymore."
So that took
well,
well, how many minutes?
13 minutes.
13 minutes. 13 minutes.
you know, but like this
Okay,
is the
well, we'll
reality.
go. We'll go.
But this is what my lifestyle is. This is what it revolves around. It's not planning for the worst. It's expecting the worst and hoping for the best kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is a reality. And I think any man who has a family or anything like that or wants to look after himself needs to have some mindset of this
Perfect.
in the back of his mind.
I want
He's
to
gonna
ask.
stop
I
me.
want to. I asked the guys in the chat for a few questions here.
Yes.
Like they're flying in, so I'll go through a few of them.
Yeah.
And see how it goes. Maurice, how do you reckon we reconnect Irish with their culture, heritage, and history?
But stop allowing your government to dissect it and downgrade it.
But do you think people are disconnected from
I
the
told-
history?
I told you in the first live, they're telling young white Irish boys that they're too privileged to be what they are.
Well, I think the
Little
elements.
had
of
an
school-
advert lately that had, I think it was a Hispanic mother, a Chinese father, a blonde child, and a black child in the photo. I'm just saying this, right?
Mhm.
That's overdoing it.
Yeah. Well, I think again.
There's nothing
That's
wrong.
that's-
There's nothing wrong with having a red-haired family there.
Of
That's all
course.
I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, of course
I
not. yeah.
don't think anyone would disagree.
And this thing of
that's
this thing
capitalism.
But on the cultural
That's
effect, and
capitalism.
that is capital.
this
Well,
thing of putting in the token black person,
Yeah.
or the token
Yeah.
Chinese person, or the token gay person
Yeah.
that doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah.
If they fit the bill, 100%. If they deserve it, 100%.
Look, we're a very diverse.
Advertising.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, that's true.
Let's
Yeah.
put it this way: advertising's only there because of market forces.
Of course, yeah.
But
But
it's society that decides what advertising is going to show you.
we are a very diverse nation, right? And we're very culturally accepting. We're all for it. Like, in fairness, the Irish are very accepting. We're interested, we're curious into other cultures.
Mhm.
But it's getting to the stage now where we're told to dim down. Like, songs are getting censored at Christmas.
There was a
and
very
different things
there
like
was a
this.
very good point. If you don't accept the country that you're going to as customs,
Yeah.
well, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100% agree.
You see, that finally we found a common ground.
But we found,
And
why
that's
you-
what's
when-
happening.
when-
No,
when
no.
I'm not against
Yeah.
people assimilating properly into Irish culture.
Yes.
I've never
And
said
neither
that,
am I.
Right? Okay. Not getting into that though. Heads of the
Maurice
first
is
one
very
is
low
exactly
sounding,
why-
or is it just me?
Yeah, I've boosted his up, and I'm trying to
I'll
keep
hold it now.
you away a bit.
But I'm just.
Because keep
I
people
like.
say, I know you like to be on top of the
I
mic.
do.
and
I
talking
like
about
the
things.
Jim Morrison thing.
He likes
Let
to
me
shame
tell you about
down.
heartache and the
Sean.
loss of God.
Stay away from me a little bit.
So yeah, where were you
okay,
there?
let me just go through some.
For everyone watching, I will snog the mic for you, okay? I can feel me whiskers. The few I have
Question
touching
from
it now.
Maurice: can you stretch fully across the guy in the cap? Can you?
Just about.
I've got a bit of distance.
Just a bit.
I've got a bit of broomstick in.
I'll tell you now something. I wouldn't like to get a belt off either of the two lads.
To be fair, wax now.
Be a bit of a belt.
Gorillas at war.
Yeah, this is it.
I suppose, look, people are asking us-
said it varies. It's what I think, but Mark Rose said it right. Shut up about the mic and just listen.
Yeah.
Look, I wish I had an engineer, a sound engineer in the room. We're trying to do as much as we can.
Yeah.
So, if there is a problem with the mics, guys, do say in the comments. I will try and pick
It's
it
all
up on the
teasing.
fly.
The guys, look, compared to the first podcast I ever done with G, this is a big step up in the world.
It was a different setup then.
Yeah.
What was that?
We were sat in front of a laptop,
Yeah, we were
turned
sat-
at us.
We
That was
were,
it.
yeah.
But-
and it worked for a while. With
Which-
a few of the
Oh, it did, of course.
You know,
Many of them, many.
Look,
there's
you
many that
were
are
asking,
on
I
now.
suppose, look, about the Longacre.
Mar-
I keep cows and suckler cows. We can just touch on that, right?
Yeah.
I used to have sheep.
Mhm.
I don't at the moment because they've wrecked the sheep sector as far as I'm concerned. And I want to get into more
How did they do that?
outpricing. It's the price of the input is what's killing sheep. Lambs are much the same price that they've always been. They are better in the last while, but it's the cost of inputs is what is really wrecking it. And the influx of Scottish lamb is a big killer. And it's
In
getting,
Ireland.
yeah, and it's getting stamped as board beer. This is another major
Why?
issue.
How can they get away with
Okay,
that?
tell us about that. That's interesting. Though. Right.
So like America, Ireland is not too dissimilar. If it's manufactured in Ireland, okay, so it comes in here on 4 legs in a lorry.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
grazes here for a month and it goes into a factory. It's Irish lamb.
Already.
Okay.
So instead of us allowing to have like a decimal in the total tonnage, so like if there was a lack of stock, it'd be worth more. So it's not. So what they do is they bump it up, which drops price.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining this very well. I understand it better in my head. Which then just plateaus the price because it's
Okay.
not a demand.
It's like diamonds.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
So-
diamonds.
But board beer are corrupt as hell.
So basically, this is an initiative from Board Beer to
Board
bring
beer
in
is
extra-
quality assurance. We are one of the most quality assured meat producers, veg producers, whatever you like, in the country, or in the world. Sorry, like we have the highest standard in production of food. Like,
Oh, it's yeah, and
Unbelievable.
that's unbelievable.
famously so.
yeah, famously so.
Like if you compare American food
And this is why we're such a massive target, you see, for Europe and stuff.
to
Yeah.
food here,
And I spoke about it earlier in our previous podcast that we shouldn't have subsidized agriculture. There is absolutely no need for it. The markup would be there if they weren't screwing us with the input taxes. It's not input costs so much; it's the input taxes on the input costs.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So basically, the tax on feeding and
Tax on the
supplying
feed
and stuff.
produce, but it all boils back to diesel.
Yes.
Diesel
course.
is the key. Diesel is what's really wrecking Ireland.
yeah,
And
I've made
so
numerous
many videos
on
about it. But that is really what's wrecking Ireland because it's
Yeah.
such a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
you know?
Sure. Well, again, if just straight up, it's a 65% government taxation on it anyway.
Yeah.
So-
And look, there's not enough tax on sugary stuff. Do you know that sort of
Yeah.
way? We care about people's health till
It's
depends.
until Nestle
It's
say,
like vapes.
until Nestle are like, no,
Yeah.
Ireland,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
You've been a bow boy.
And I suppose, look,
Don't tax our sugary products.
back to Longacre thing again. Then, so like, I do the cottage. I'm trying to make a life. I'm hoping to make a happy life someday. I think I'm pretty content as I am. Probably too content the way I am. You know, because I have an awful enjoyment in how I'm living, even though it's very basic.
Yeah.
I literally go to work, I come home, I might do a video at the weekend, I might not. In the wintertime, I'm very quiet online.
But that's because of the light.
Yeah, it's
people
light.
don't understand that you've only a very small window to make videos.
Yeah.
Like you can do videos inside, but you need
no, they're shit.
They're unless you have
and
perfect lighting.
I find if it's forced,
very hard.
it's shit.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
And I'm just off the cuff. Everything I do is just kind of off the cuff and stuff. So
yeah, I saw some really good videos where you found some hatchlings and you
so I do little things like that.
Yeah, like real farm life stuff.
Yeah,
like, you know.
So like, but I think my page is such an element. Like you'll see me at work. Gracious to the boss, he does allow me to do the occasional video without saying anything. Showing people how I do fitting tires.
Yeah,
on tractors, on lorries.
Yeah, and you know, for some reason, I thought them videos were on your own vehicles.
I don't even have a tractor. I don't even have a tractor. All I have is a wheelbarrow, as you've seen me flipping it, which went viral very well at the time. But the only reason I post work videos, and it's very interesting because I find very effeminate, wokey type males get very upset with me posting work videos. Okay, and I'll tell you why. It's not, they think I'm posting for ego. They think I'm posting to show off. Thinking I'm some old hardy chap, right?
Yeah.
I sit here. I don't go to the gym. You know that. I don't train. I don't do nothing like that, right? But it is lads in work boots and work trousers that keep this country, this world working
100%.
and moving and turning. And if we're all gone in the morning, truck drivers, but everyone like who is in high vis or a farmer or like these are key jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and the person who is in the cube has not the appreciation, the realization, or the comprehension of how everything they have gets there.
Mm-hmm.
They actually don't. They've never seen anything they haven't seen anything die or born.
There's a definite disconnect between the food on your plate and where it came from.
But like, there's lads crying.
What you're saying about farmers?
What
you know, like no farmers, no
farmers, no food, no future.
Yeah,
it is that simple. You know, the great
100%.
quote is: "You need a farmer 3 times a day. You don't need anyone else that often."
Yeah.
You might want a wife every night, but like, you need a farmer 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
It is that simple. And they are reducing food production globally for a population that is somewhat increasing, even though we're hitting a birth fertility decline.
I did not realize that we were plateauing in a birth
outrageously.
Well, like if you look at like the key to watching where population collapses is in Asia. So all the developed nations like Korea,
they've been striving for that for the last 30 years.
But Korea, Japan, they're having major problems with because obviously as your population gets older, relies more on government services. When
do you think that was what COVID was all about?
It was all about. You have to understand now, right?
Well, we're also living longer as well.
Yeah. We have had nearly a 20% increase in excess deaths in this country in the last 3 years, per annum in 3 years. It equates to something like 37,000 extra dead people from heart attacks, myocarditis, and a couple other ailments, right? Young people that just drop like that. Yeah. Okay. It's not about being anti-vax. It's not to do with this. There was a serious wrong done in this country. It was a slow, silent genocide. It'll occur for the next couple of years. We don't understand the effects that this is going to have. I'm not up here boasting this. It's fucking horrible. And you know, I done everything in my power to get as many videos out about it at the time. And I have people messaging me now. To the point
where your pages were getting restricted.
Oh yeah, but like I lost like 4,000, 5,000 people in a week.
Yeah, on anything that's on the edge is being restricted. Your pages have been restricted left, right, and center.
But let's
anything that's
to leave facts at the table. The Dáil are talking about this. Leo is doing his best to kick the can off down the road because he knows elections are coming up. Independents are rising. It's not even independents. People in their own parties. Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, Sinn Féin, Labour, they're all bringing it up because there's too many people coming to their TDs and saying, what is going on here?
Yeah.
RIP.E brought out their figures, right? The debt rate is crazy. But then, and I spoke about this earlier today, right? We only had in the last 3 years like 170, my figures are going to get a bit mixed up. We'll say 175,000 births per whatever, but we've had 750 something thousand PPS numbers released. Okay, all these migrants coming in are offsetting our decline as a population. So people are not going to really notice that the damage and the decline that happened because of that. Not to mention, there's lots of people who got sick and had ailments who were not seen to, who were ignored by hospitals.
That was a big point. A lot of people ignored by hospitals.
You remember before
too frightened to go to old people. Too afraid to get to the hospital. Yeah, exactly.
I remember
that was just as big a problem.
I remember my father passing during COVID, and I came with G the month after. It was very short after, only about 3 weeks after I came to do the podcast with G. I remember being in the hospital, and I just remember security guard saying something to me about mask and whatever. And I was not taking part with any of that nonsense and certain whatever. And I just said, the Jeep will come through the fucking door if you don't open it. How they denied people the right to spend their last moments with their loved ones is absolutely beyond me. And how they can sit above in the doll and not be held to any account for their actions and their decisions when they've been proven worldwide now. Like, it's coming out, America is busting out with information about Fauci and all these different people. You can turn a blind eye all you want. There was a serious wrong and genocide carried out across this worldwide. Not even from the effects of that injection, but the effects of what the lockdowns had on people with suicide rates, the homeless that were neglected, the people, like, it's just endless. The damage that has caused. But it has been
also the actual COVID itself.
But it has been a stepping stone for the Agenda 2030 and 2025 in the 17 sustainability goals.
Was it intentional?
Klaus, yeah, absolutely intentional. He has warned, himself and Gates have openly spoken that in order to help introduce these other 17 sustainability goals, it will take another pandemic to introduce it. And he has said that on national news. I will not be bet on this topic. I don't give a fuck.
I read something as COVID was coming out about a prediction that was done 10 years earlier, and it predicted that a virus or disease would happen in 10 years' time. It wouldn't last too long. It would be over and forgotten about as quick as it started. Would you say COVID was? I thought it dragged out a bit, but in the grand scheme of things, it probably was a quick.
I think
that there would be a bigger one that would last longer 10 years later.
Yeah, but it's a secular thing. Like, SARS was an issue in the early 2000s. MERS,
but SARS wasn't a big problem here, though.
No,
it wasn't in Europe.
It wasn't. It was in certain parts of the world. Like, this was different, but again, I think it was well predicted that it would probably be a respiratory.
Can we just focus that one of the symptoms was no symptoms?
Yeah, well, that's the worst flu of all.
We'll move off this because
what was the devil's greatest trick to convince people that he didn't exist?
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll just go to a few messages. Question from Maurice: why did you say schnog in if you're hardcore Irish? Brits out. Shift. Say shift.
Schnogs. Is that a man or a woman?
It's a man.
He's only upset wouldn't schnog him.
Women wanted the houses. What did Jim say? Come on, Bucks. The women wanted the houses, not the panks. There might be a little bit of truth in that.
Whether you're with them or not.
Yeah.
John says the public doesn't decide what is advertised or marketed.
But they decide what's effective.
Yeah.
Well, they are the consumer.
Yeah. Jason McConnelly says, Maurice, will you spray the doll in slurry, please? I'd say he'd gladly.
I tell you something. If you could speak to the members of the Vanguard Síochána in this country and remind them that they have every right and ability to refuse an order, as the French do, as many other police forces around the world do, who have the respect for their nation and its people to stand aside when they're addressing serious issues and concerns of the fucking people of a nation, tell that to the guards, and I'm sure men will be up at the dog. They don't have that. They don't have the backbone. They were absolute totalitarian enforcers throughout COVID and the last couple of years, and every opportunity since, no matter what the narrative has been, they've been against the people. And it's very sad because I know a lot of guards. I went to school with them.
Yeah.
I talk to them every day, right? But they seriously let us down on every opportunity. They say they have a vote of no confidence in their commissioner. The people of this country have a vote of no confidence in their guards.
Yeah.
And I mean that, like, with serious conviction.
Wow.
It's not fair.
I'm not going to comment on that because I haven't paid my tax on my car in 18 months.
But like, they have to start opening their eyes. There's no way that even TDs and ministers, there's no way that these people are going home to their families and their families are going, you're doing a great job. There is somebody in that family, a bit of a nutter like me or you, what the fuck, you can't be buying this. And he'd say, oh, sure, like the boss said I have to.
I will
end.
tell you something now. I've many guards come to the live show, to the live shows, and they're
under serious pressure.
Yeah, and they give up. They literally there's nothing more they can do.
They talk about low morale in the guards.
Very low morale,
and I think that ties into your
I want to
point.
incite, a bit of oomph in them.
Yeah.
Like it's not violence.
Yeah.
But like you watch the police in.
Are they brainwashing Templemore?
Look, that has a lot to do with it. But the ultimate thing is, if you watch the police in the likes of France and the fire brigade, do you remember when they had their TIF, fire brigade versus the police? Very interesting, because you have two state bodies who have massive influence and massive importance in a country,
and
right?
Should and need to work together.
We need to work together. It'd be like our army and the guards going together. It falls
the army
back.
do fuck all here anyway. So
you said that now, not me. But they don't exactly
until there's a pandemic.
But the thing is, there's another thing. Our what's the word that we're not involved in? Neutrality. Our neutrality is at serious risk because of Simon Coveney, right? Huge risk. We have UN warships, say, docking in Cork.
Yeah.
Right? People are not concerned enough about this country, and the ones who are.
I heard that soon it'll be, our neutrality will be gone.
It is going to be gone. Micheál Martin and Simon Coveney are very bad news for this country.
As Pink Floyd wrote a song about it, all they are is another prick in the doll.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That was their words. Famously,
speaking. I was waiting to use that one all night.
Speaking from experience now, and I'm not going to name the company we're outside because I'm not putting myself up for that again. But there was going to be an indictment of about €1 million put against myself and others who stood outside business premises for over 24 hours.
That was up in Dublin, wasn't it?
Near enough. We're not going into the details of it. There was great men and women showed up at that, right? A couple of TDs showed up, gave their support, right? I remember dealing with the guards there that day.
Can I mention one of them who I thought gave a great speech?
No, okay. We'll leave it out. As it's old news.
Okay.
Right? But how the guards dealt with that was not correct. It just, when I seen how they operate, and like I remember one that come up and said, oh, my outlad's a farmer. Well, I said, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself telling me to move. Yeah. I was like, where do you see it going? Like, you think you're going to inherit that off daddy? What future do you have? I was like, I'm here representing your future. I said, I have the smallest iron in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here for me. I'm here for the culture of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, now that you mentioned that, Avanza asked, Maurice, how do you reckon we reconnect Irish?
I've already asked that.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, about the culture.
Shit, sorry.
But like, there's so many ways to go.
You never listen to me anyway.
But there's so many ways to, like.
Did you inject him with Seroquel on the break? He's cooled him down. Yeah.
Give him a back rub. But let's not forget. Look,
Connor says, I hear you're racist now,
is what is wrecking your culture.
Yeah,
because they're telling you that if you speak up about any issue now, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're far right, you're this, that, and the other. So the Irishmen are getting quieter than they already were. Now, God forbid their soccer team loses a match, they'll fucking be uproar, right? But take away your rights, it doesn't matter.
That's what I can't understand.
Big men on fucking high stools on a Saturday night, but that's it.
They're docile about, as I said, like
very docile.
There's bigger balls than the women in this country, and they're not trans.
Yeah, I know. As I said in one of the videos, can we go back 100 years where
there's women pushing prams in this country,
the men and women had balls in this country.
Yeah. When men, what was it? When women were men and men were women.
Jim says, big house, not the banks. Hold on now. Another one. Farming is a lonely life. Would you agree with that?
I believe the people put themselves in scenarios and situations that leave them in a lonely life.
Okay.
Organize yourself rightly. Get involved in a club, a hobby, or something, and get the fuck out. Sitting down with mommy and daddy on a Saturday night, watching whatever shite is on RT is not going to get you a ride, a wife, or nothing else or anything.
I think just in general, there's an element of loneliness in this country. If you're not going out for a pint,
that is right. We've had this discussion.
That way.
Trying to stay off the pints is very tough. You are.
A long time. I'm off the fags a long time. But the problem is now, can't really go for the pint.
You said something very interesting about when you said you were off the cigarettes for a year. You actually think it's detrimental to your thinking.
Yeah.
Which I've
guys, I know you might think I'm rapid fire around now tonight, but if I was smoking fags, I'd be way quicker. You wouldn't stand a chance, Gavin. Right? You would not stand a chance. The nicotine has a very high buzz rate.
Okay.
Especially if you're smoking heavy fags. I used to smoke John Player Blue, which are a heavy fag. Like.
I'd overdo.
Oh, they're
then
the
but
heavy
there's a
duty.
high nicotine amount in them, right?
Yeah.
So
You're a seasoned smoker.
oh Jesus, smoking a long time, about 14, 15
I'd
years.
overdo your fags with a fucking rake of coke, and then
Rake of
you
coke.
then
That
you
would
wouldn't
make
have a
up for it.
chance.
See, I don't do drugs, and I always say to people, I don't do drugs because I'm better than anybody. I don't do them because I know I'd love them.
Yeah.
I know that. Like I know
I'm
that.
glad
like,
we got that out. Actually, that was something that I was hoping that we.
Like I said to her, anyone could be Shane McGowan.
Yes.
Anyone can succumb and fall to our weaker self in a sense. Whether you suffer with brain maggots or you just fucking love it, you can end up in the same scenario as him.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people like, and I said it too, like, you know, he was gifted, but at the same time, in a sense, he's a bum, right? And I say that with a bit of respect.
I do. I know that.
And admiration for the man.
Yeah,
but it can happen to anyone.
But he was expecting to be on the street. He lived his life expecting to, as his years.
But he had, whereas not everyone.
I want to say that to people. I say that with love. I'm not.
I know that.
I'm just explaining.
Not everyone had his brain and intelligence and his.
And a lot of the artists, the poets, all them, they do suffer, as I say, with the brain maggots.
Yeah.
You know, and the grey matter. But it's so important for people to remember, like, you're not better than anyone because you don't do something. You just had a little bit more willpower, or you just know yourself a little bit better. Like, it's so easy to end up under the bridge. 2-3 wrong decisions.
Yeah.
You're out and you're on your own.
You said actually something when we were chatting. It's very easy to go for a pint.
Yeah.
It's very easy to.
Oh yeah. So like, it's easy to go to the pub.
Yeah.
It's easy to get the ESB in my house. It's easy to make the wrong choices and decisions. It's very fucking hard to do things that you know are better for you, but you might necessarily like them.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're for my betterment. Like, do you not think I want to be out every Saturday night, fucking out with the lads, or chasing women, or doing whatever, acting the bollocks, driving cars, like
using toilets,
using an actual toilet, a public toilet, with running water. But like, the thing is, right? My life, for instance, could be so much different. I could be taking every influence and job given to me, promotion given to me.
Yeah.
But there's no integrity with that prosperity.
Yeah.
To me, there's not.
Yeah, I don't do it either. I do. You see, I could be trying to sell loaves of bread and beds, and it's just not me. It's just not the page.
Yeah.
And I know if I shouted that shit on the page,
and I always said that to people.
But fair play to people that do it. That's why they're making a living.
But you can say, like, a lot of people can say things, but I've been consistent through and through.
Yeah.
I started as an anonymous page. Used to talk behind the camera. Came out from behind the camera. It's not much improved since then, but I have never wavered. And I always say to people with small pages, we're trying to do things, let your weird light shine bright so other weirdos can find you. I lost so many followers over the last couple of years, but you gained the right ones.
Yes.
And
I call it shaking the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah, exactly. Shaking the wheat from the chaff. And like, you'll get a one-hit wonder.
And the thing is, as you change and as you grow, your experiences change you.
Yeah.
Like, your viewership might just change as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
The goal is not to be the same. So, like, I always see people in my messages when I say stuff and they go, "Oh, I'll never change." It's like, I'm going to change, but I want to be better.
Yeah.
I'm not who I want to be. There's lots of times I've not been the man I want to be or claim to be, but I'm always trying
Matthew
to be better.
McConaughey has a great speech where you strive.
He says, "My hero is me in 5 years." I've seen him say it.
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
Matthew McConaughey is very deep, and I really like.
Very deep and very well spoken.
Yeah.
True. I want to
just before you do it, Pete has a great saying as well that you can only stand in the same river once.
Yeah. Same water once.
Same water once. He says
because the river's not the same,
and neither is the man.
I wanted to move this on to the hate speech laws and the implementation of hate speech laws potentially in Ireland, which is up for the legislature.
He's a big advocate of hate speech.
I am. I love people.
I think that's one thing you'll agree that it's not a good thing.
I agree that hate speech is not great.
Okay.
All right. I think we all agree hate speech is not great.
No. The
ban against the law of.
I don't know.
He's going south on us. He's going south, guys. He's going south.
It's not that. Like, I think that because I'm a big advocate for talking things out. And having different opinions, I think, is healthy.
Yeah.
So,
but that's going to remove that.
So, and I said removing that is a problem.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you create tyranny. In my
see, there's already the thing is people don't realize you shouldn't be allowed to say anything you want to say on the internet. But the thing is, if you say something that's really bad,
people will
Pe-
correct you.
but no, the internet will already take it down.
Well, yeah, like at the end of the day, right? You're not posting on an open forum. You're posting on a private company's website. Facebook.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
that's what the
Instagram,
platforms are for.
But hold
That's-
on,
yeah,
hold
no,
on.
no, yeah, but they've got terms of service that you agreed to when you first signed up.
100. Yeah, I understand. I understand that.
But now they're going to access your phone. This is different.
That's the real worry.
Now your meme or your joke or your text to your mate or that Snapchat you took fucking 10 years ago and it's saved in the cache of Snapchat, and maybe it was not. It was locker room talk. It
Yeah.
was something
Oh,
like that.
exactly. 100%.
You're screwed for that.
A voice note you've made
Yes.
that
Yes.
was a joke between
This
two
is a
mates.
big difference,
Yeah,
right?
and listen,
It's
we've
not-
all, and if
And
there's
the
any
thing
if
is,
there's any
right?
man out there or woman that thinks that talk doesn't happen,
It fucking happens.
Red
Well,
blo-
stuff out of context you can make anything sound
yes,
horrendous.
okay,
No,
yeah,
but,
of course.
But let's focus. So it's not a case that they're just going to pick at random people. Just like, through that lad's phone, he definitely has something. They could pick him or me, the same as they picked Andrew Tate or Alex Jones or any of these people. And then when they start dissecting you, and then they can pull out the information and say, right, well, hang on with this one.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, you have to remember, this is not about they don't care that I hurt your feelings or you hurt my feelings. They don't give a fuck about that. This has to do with news and media reporting and a narrative being pushed one way and one way only. That is all it is about, Chris.
Yeah.
They want to remove an opposing view. So they're saying now,
That was my
if I
point.
say Irish lives matter, that is now considered a far right quote and an opposing view, and it is damaging, and so on and so forth.
Like something like that, right? People know that are like, but it's used as it's
Well, why should
like
it be banned?
it's a counter narrative to what, like it's almost like stoking the fires of knowing the response you're going to get.
Well, I
You
sat
know,
up
if you-
in
if you
Dublin
say
at
all
the free
lives-
speech
If
thing.
you said all lives matter when Black Lives Matter was going on, it wasn't that
They crucify it.
Yeah, they'd crucify it, but it's also a dog whistle to the racists that believe that blue lives matter.
But
blue lives
remember,
matter. Do you get
Ireland
me?
is now on the light of the world is on Ireland. Lately, we never used to hit the news for anything.
But we see
This
what
year,
my
cattle
point is,
culls have
they're
hit the
putting
news
everything
worldwide, right? We are the guinea pigs of Europe. We're the guinea pigs for the WEF, right? As I keep saying, Leo is their global fucking trainee, right? The light is shining on us. The world is watching. You see Elon Musk commenting on us on a regular basis.
we're a regular
It's becoming very regular.
item in the news in America and Australia.
And they are saying this is mad, right? But I was at the Free Speech Day rally, which was held in the RDS by Free Speech Ireland and Gript Media, right? Some of the best thinkers, if you like, were there. Okay. You have the likes of, Sharon Keoghan, who's a senator here in Ireland. You have Ben Scallon, you have John McGurk, you have Kevin Sharkey, right? You remember he ran for president. He would have been Ireland's first black Irish president.
Yes,
right?
I do know.
Kevin Sharkey is a very good speaker.
He's a very good speaker. I've seen him pop up a few times online.
I'm not finished. Let me get this out, right? They had speakers there of people who understand laws, legislations, and their damaging effects. Nobody there. There was women there from the Women's Council and all sorts of things who were also explaining when you remove the word woman and breastfeeding out of society,
which is ridiculous.
The damaging effects that's going to cause, because that's under the hate speech. Because if you have a trans man who says he wants to breastfeed a child and you say you can't chest feed or you can't breastfeed, he's going to deem that hate speech. Okay? So now you have an infant sucking on a dry tit of essentially, I would call that a pedophile. I'm not going back on that quote. Who's going to argue with that?
Hypothetical person?
It's not hypothetical. It's been well documented. This sort of stuff.
And
the best of people spoke up at that rally. And you have Helen McEntee, who I don't think there's a person in Ireland who thinks Helen is.
How is she still there?
How is she still there after, look, we're not going into the Dublin thing, but how is she still there with the nonsense and her responses? Like even our ex-justice minister questioned her in the Oireachtas and said, define hate speech from, she couldn't fucking define the bill she's forcing.
Yeah, like
she goes, far right this and it's this and it's that.
Again, it's like you can
wanting,
say
as
that
I said in the video that I made last week, wanting right by Ireland, it doesn't mean that you're far right. It just means that you want right by Ireland.
Yeah.
But like this idea that and you've both been called far right. Not everyone's far right, and to be honest, it's just like the internet is calling you
common
names.
sense.
because the internet's calling
But
you
no,
names.
but it's not just about that. But if
but
if I was to go, if my phone was under the hate speech, if my phone was to be taken, I am pretty sure my phone wouldn't even need to be taken. All they need to do is
look
share
the
one of
videos.
my videos. That I would be deemed by the government or on
Would you agree
but
that
I cannot see, and I know you had a strong point about the Garda Síochána. I cannot see that they'll enforce this.
I can't see how they would.
Yeah.
Let's be honest
but
here. We complain that the guards aren't hard enough on actual laws that we have in this country.
Okay.
And we're worrying about something that isn't happened, and
not yet.
Not yet. Do you think the guards are going to?
But online hate speech and crime is being addressed already, and it has been for the last 2 years. Not so much in Ireland, but in the UK, there has been many arrests about it, and in other countries, it was explained on the day the different dynamics of what. So it can be people in your comments. Somebody could call me a Romanian, which often happens in my comments. Right, I get called it enough in other areas.
You have a lovely tan. I
have a great fucking tan working outside.
Yeah.
Plenty of beef.
The two of you have the same sallow skin. Do you have the same father? Is it?
The way mine was, God knows. But I'm telling you now. And that is not, by the way, my adopted father. I'd like to clarify that that's the real one that I'm on with biological. But leave that to one side. Hate speech, right? It is never going to be good when you have the removal of free speech. There's nothing good coming. No government in the history, talk about Mao, China, any of these people, Hitler. Anyone who took guns off the people and removed speech was not the good guy.
Yeah,
and for any woman to sit there now,
we agree that, but
you're defending this stuff.
But under
let me speak then, and I'll
under the law. I just want to say something. Under the law, that if you don't give your password, they can bring you in.
Right, but they don't need your password.
No, they definitely don't need my password.
But the internet has your password.
I changed it.
What I'm saying is, there's no such thing as free speech. It's a fucking nonsense trope. You don't have the right to say anything you want. You can't walk into.
Well, you should have.
You can't walk into a cinema and shout fire and cause a stampede.
Well, no, I mean that would be.
No. That's free speech.
Come on.
This is a stupid argument. That's not making any sense.
What I'm saying is
that's not.
What
you're
saying is that the lines are.
That's daftness.
No, hold on a second. What you're saying is.
You can, but you'd be kicked out.
No, you can say.
That's just bad manners. That's all that is. That's like shouting in a library.
But there's rules and laws about shouting fire in a cinema to cause a stampede.
Well, there's a
but
reason.
You don't say bomb on a plane.
That's a safety.
You don't say bomb on a plane. Like it's the same.
You can't. I'm saying there's
different.
No,
that's completely different. Okay, go on.
There's a rule there because of the consequence, and most of what you're saying is 100% right. But when you have Conor McGregor stoking some language saying that this is Ireland taking Ireland back.
It was at the wrong time.
In the middle of a riot?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when the next riot occurs, who's going to be stoking the fires then? And the other side of it, there's Telegram messages calling for the incitement of violence against immigrants
by a unique few individuals. I don't support Conor McGregor. I'm not saying that in that sense, but
when you have people doing that stuff, there has to be consequences for them, and that.
But sure,
you are gone off topic with this argument now.
No. What I'm saying is there's elements of it that not all speech should be free. There has to be some rules about what you can say.
That's common. That's common.
That's common sense.
That's common sense. Exactly. And if you want to incite a riot,
well,
I could text. Well, probably no one would listen to me anyway. If I could text all the group chats and we'll meet outside Apache Pizza here.
You can get fucking 3 people.
Yeah, and
you've seen me trying to run protests for different things,
but because they know that's daft, that's silly. That's
you can say it's daft and silly until you say that. Well, what should be condemned as free speech or not? This is like you can say that it's authoritarian look. But let's put it this way, right? And if there's free speech, then say Daniel Kinahan is being arrested and he's holed up in a hotel in Dublin, and he tweets out whatever he wants. Should he be able to tweet out whatever he wants? A known criminal gangland calling to arms his posse of absolute lunatics.
Well, that would only
would that be something that should be allowed?
That's incriminating.
Incriminating. Them guys are too cute to do that.
But even if he did, that should be used. That should be used against him.
Yeah,
against him.
Yeah.
but
But you have to understand, Chris, they have no definition on what they're deeming hate speech.
But
It's wide open.
I agree. That's a
You're
problem.
saying that somebody's inciting violence. That's a fucking different
That's a
argument.
completely
right?
different thing.
Different fucking argument.
But what I'm
This is about
saying
hate speech.
I got a video banned because I said at the end I said
and that's
kick up the non-binary hole.
Yeah,
because I used the word
wrong.
kick.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's not wrong.
But it was in
I'm
a
not
funny. It
saying
was in a
that,
funny sense.
If we lose
Like, I'm not
the
saying
banter,
that,
right? And this is what a lot of it boils back to, right? And as I said, you remove the word woman. Like, where is society going? It's a fucking very, very slippery slope. Like, do we go then that a child doesn't identify as a child? I just want to say this. Like, if remove the word child from the dictionary, the word woman from the dictionary, the
But
pedophile
not
was
man.
using an object. He was using an object. It was it. It was they. It is no longer him or her. And this is what a lot of it has to do. If you watch the top psychologists and different people who are breaking down this law.
What is the idea? What's the goal of taking woman out of the word woman?
I don't
to make
understand that.
some fucking lunatic feel better. But it has, again, back to the family dynamic.
Yeah.
They're trying to dissect it and take it apart. They're ruining your culture.
But like, what I'm
They're
saying,
demonizing the family structure. Because when you have a family structure, you have a strong male role model, you have a strong mother. What are you going to get near those kids? You're dealing with a lion and a fucking and a tigress. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not getting near them kids. Like, but if daddy is distracted with the match, and mommy's distracted with fucking Kim K or whoever the likes, and the kids are getting indoctrinated in school for 6 hours a day, that you don't know, that next generation are not going to want what their parents had.
Well, you can sort of see the generation behind us.
There's a big gap. There's
yeah.
a serious lag here
Yeah.
as well, because I see them now, you know.
And I think that's the flip side of social media, and I think social media has a lot to do with that.
It has major to do
social
with it.
media is purposely divisive.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this
But
much.
we have
more riled up about the rights than I was. I was in Dublin.
Yeah.
But you see, you have to remember,
So-
you're entering into it. It's almost like, you know, another. It's not the industrial revolution; it's the technology revolution. There's going to be a lot less jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like majorly, unemployment is going to go through the roof because automation. They are dumbing down nations. They have spoke about that they want to reduce the world population to 500 million, which is a drastic drop.
The world population
down to 500 million.
But like,
Now, this is not like they're not going
we
out.
all have a country for ourselves.
Understand this
But
a
the
second.
pro-
Chris,
the
just
pro-
one second. Let me actually get this out. I'm not trying to get across, but this is important and people have to fucking hear this. They are automizing the world and trying to reduce this population down to 500 million. You'll see Elon Musk touch about it. I'm not educated for this stuff. I'm merely repeating what these men, educated men, are speaking and explaining to people. You will be living a life of existence like you did throughout COVID. You will get your $350 a week, which is part of your social credit score system, right? That's your allowance.
Even now,
Your job at the factory is gone. Okay, you don't have a purpose in life anymore. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to aspire to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Take your money, play in your
I know
5K.
I know a lot of people must have that already.
Yeah, but play in your 5K within Swinford here.
Yeah.
Right? Live your existence. Consume Netflix. Consume online shopping with whatever. You're not going to be spoken about that they're reducing the amount of free air travel by civilians to reduce world emissions and all this kind of malarkey, right? Whether people want to accept this or not, it's coming. The exact time frame is
How do we stop it?
You live each and every day as though your very existence is an act of rebellion itself. Pay cash for it. Don't be fucking signing up for certain things. Make yourself as self-sufficient as possible, that you can feed, heat, and cook yourself and do all these sort of things. Don't be going and getting that electric car. It's not fucking for your benefit.
Yeah.
Keep the diesel that'll start with a fucking screwdriver.
Of me getting an electric car.
But do you understand?
Because in fairness, he finds it hard enough to fucking fill up with diesel. Never mind with fucking plug it in.
I was we were doing a gig, a very important gig, a few months ago, and I let the car run out of diesel. We could do a podcast on that particular day alone.
Yeah,
but
that was the day you did the Forged Out ad.
Yeah. And speaking about consumerism, But then to make matters worse, I was driving about 3 days later, and I was completely distracted. Lucky enough, near Swinford, and it ran out again.
He fucking left me a voice note, and he's like, "You won't believe it," and I was just like, "You ran out of diesel, didn't you?" He's like, "I fucking did."
Yeah. And
Hard times. Why
and-
did you getting seen on the side of the road?
but
No diesel in
the thing is, I have a diesel card
Oh, for fuck's sake.
from my
Yeah.
contract. I have a diesel card,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I like my. We'll say that the job that I had or have, it's very slowed down an awful lot now. I have a diesel card, so instead of me getting it's slowed down so much that when I do get a call out, I use my wages and I get diesel at a much reduced rate.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
So I just use the money I make in that particular job. So I should have a surplus of diesel all
All
it is
the
is
time.
paying my
Yeah,
diesel all the time.
Yeah.
So I have no excuse not to get diesel.
No.
But 3 times in 2 weeks,
It's amazing.
This
3
fucking
times
forbidden,
in 2,
right?
and
And
once
he was like, I think I've had a bit of a brain fog. I was like, brain fog? I think you
Yeah.
had an aneurysm.
yeah.
I said, are you okay?
Once I actually forgot to get diesel and brought the car and it wouldn't start, and I was like, why won't it start? And then I remembered, no diesel.
No,
So three times in 2 weeks.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So you're a Volkswagen expert now. Yeah?
yeah.
how to jumpstart it with no diesel?
We'll get into some of the comments.
There'll be more questions. You have.
Is there not laws for
Is
that
it-
already? There kind of
There
is.
There is. Yeah.
You
There
see,
is.
that's what I mean.
But
Like,
they're going heavy on them.
that was from
Yeah,
Kieran.
and like I think that, like, again, I'm putting a counter narrative to you, but like, and it might seem ridiculous, but like, there has to be that, like, I don't like, as I said, my point of view is that we should be able to discuss all these things. This is why we have a podcast here.
Yeah.
And this is why we can.
Yeah.
This is free speech.
This is
And
gonna
this
get
is free
deleted, like,
speech.
This is free speech.
Yeah, so someone has
You
to
can say
find
whatever
free
the fuck
speech.
you want to me.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to go, oh, right winger.
Yeah.
And,
You
yeah,
know,
and not be expecting the guards to be outside when we go downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a different issue.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck, they're
Yeah.
searching the place.
See,
See,
again.
we've no pizza boxes on the table. I
Yeah,
can't guess.
yeah. That again, that not again.
Pizza boxes on the table.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Andrew Tate, they said that they found him because of his pizza boxes. He said, "You found me because I have the police come and check my premises on a regular basis to help me with security and whatnot." You know, there's another man who was wrongfully fucking jailed for how long, and he's on his third life now.
Would you say wrongfully?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, now
I
you
thought
and me are going to have a fight.
No, I just
I'll
don't
be
know
honest,
enough about
I
him.
don't- I
Yeah.
like, to be honest, I don't know. I don't really go into that. I don't get into
Yeah.
that internet stuff with.
I don't know
Andrew
enough
Tate
about him.
and
I always thought that he was a bad guy.
No,
I always
he's not
thought,
a bad guy.
yeah, he always came across as this macho man.
I'm not
probably-
surprised you think that.
Why?
Not you, him.
Me.
Yes.
You
I'll have to
fucking
look
harsh
into
on
it.
I'm
me
calling you
now.
the effeminate male in this scenario now because we've
Man,
had too many
you call
battles
me a
tonight.
feminine male, I'll throw you out the fucking.
Come
window.
on, we're going for it now.
Don't start again. I'm liking this. I'm just wondering, did you get the shift or something in the time I was gone?
There's a bit of look. There's a bit of heavy pet.
Yeah.
A bit of heavy pet.
And to be
And
honest,
biscuits.
can I just say, I love the affection.
He loves it.
Okay.
He
He's
loves
a
it.
gentle lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete needs to.
I'm
do when
going.
he
I'm
comes
going back
out.
here with some comments. Dave O'Meara, it's the VRT on the cars as well, lads. But hold on.
Yeah, VRT is a major,
Big
major.
problem.
Like,
Yeah.
importing a car from England now, you would
Nightmare.
be mad.
Yeah, it's nearly twice. It's nearly
It could be
twice the
twice
car
the
again.
price of the car.
It's
like.
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
what other
it's a-
country
it's
does
what
that?
a piss take, like.
Oh,
But see, again,
paddy
it's
tax.
getting you.
Well, it
It's
almost-
getting
yeah,
you
again,
out of that
squeeze,
habit.
big squeeze.
But it's getting you out of that habit of buying the second-hand car, buying a good car, and leaving you with the shit that's sitting in the parking lot at the local dealer, which is a bloody hybrid or a straight electric.
Positive ending about just. Are you nervous about the stand up with this new law coming in, Stephen?
the
You
stand.
should be. You should be unbelievably nervous.
No, I'm not.
said this
Because
several
I'm not going to dumb it
No.
down. And if I get arrested, I would gladly,
I'm going to have a candlelight vigil for you.
as Martin Maloney would say, I would do time for that, and if I do hard time.
Hard time.
Like,
So
I'm
I am
telling you,
not one bit nervous, and if they come in the door, fair play to them.
Then they're like, to be honest, your gigs aren't that big.
Oh,
Woo!
Harsh, mate. I'm
Now the
Right.
real dig's getting thrown
I'm
tonight.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Mark Rose, mind your own business, and I don't know that one. Let's not read that one out.
What? It was it. Shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
oh.
Sorry.
That's it now. Turn to violence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
violence.
That's
Sorry.
all you know is, Chris. Violence.
Cowboy first blood.
No 5 people in their 30s with blood cancer. 2 are pregnant, not normal here in Canada. That's obviously in Canada. Neve, sorry to hear that. Neve Kelly, I don't know if that's my cousin. Fact, Maurice, I doubt she'd be on one of these podcasts.
Doubtful.
Yeah, she's too busy living a good life in Australia. Who actually won Player of the Year or Team of the Year for
she was in for the top 3 for Player of the Year, wasn't she?
Yeah. For only the second Irish person
to go out to the Australian rules.
To Australian rules
and
win.
I've seen something about this
Yeah,
lately. Actually,
yeah. She's my first cousin.
Fair play.
Maurice, tell people the actual meaning of saying the Longacre. That's from Jim. Jim must know you. Jim must know you. Jim Banda?
No, I don't know the name.
Okay.
But see, I always know people by their profile pictures on Instagram mostly. But look, the reason I called the Longacre, I always laughed and joked with people. And I can't use the term because you wrecked it this year. You got us in serious trouble. But we all know the term something living on the Longacre, right? A certain ethnic group living on the Longacre, grazing the Longacre. And so I would always refer to myself as that. To an extent, as a joke, and family would, because I always lived out of a duffel bag. Basically, since I left home about 17, I went to college. I've lived out of a duffel bag, and I always said I'm not going to unpack this till I'm home.
Okay.
I have not unpacked yet. Like I'm 29 years of age. It's been a long time, but although I'm in my home is not finished. Like, I don't have wardrobes. An uncle of mine actually has them. I was supposed to go collect them. I didn't get around to it yet. But anyway, so that's why the Longacre. It's a journey. It's you know. Do you get my point? It is a long piece of land. That was the other part of it, but it actually has more to do with my life story and always feeling that I'm on the road, you know, and that I don't have a definite, definition on what it is, but that has a lot to do with it because just my life's just been, look, it's been a series of unfortunate and fortunate events. Yeah, and that's what it is, and that's how.
Are you happy with your life?
So happy.
Yeah, good.
But like
you deserve.
Yeah, you do.
It's like, as long as you're happy with the decisions you made, with the options you had at the time, be content in that. You know, and I've said this before, like, if you want to tell people your stories on different things and whatever, do it with explaining who you are, not excusing who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
And that's just my whole thing. Like, a lot of my page, and this is why you got to know me, was true, like doing like mental health stuff and stuff like that. And first of all, like I say to people, I have no real sympathy for mental health, and people, when you say that, they're like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, but it's like, it's our decision. How we feel most of the time is how we allow the world to let us feel, because we're reacting to the world around us and different things. And it's just, my whole thing is, I don't feel there's a reason to justify to people how you may fail and different things. Like, I've had lots of things go wrong in my life. As I say, it's not worth souring my lips over, but there's every reason for you to still get up and kick the shit out of life, like, and get what you want.
That's a good attitude.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, that's a winning attitude.
Yeah. Dreams without a plan are just dreams.
Yeah.
As Denzel Washington once said.
I seen a thing the other day. It said, look, the fat hate the fit, and the sayers hate the doers. And that is it. Like, it's just making the attitude, and if it's only small incremental steps every day. Like, the Longacre has fucking taken its toll on me, and I really mean it. Between the online side of things and giving too much energy to people and situations and organizations and all these different things.
Would you change it?
No, because it's made me. It's like, it has made me the last couple of years. Do you know? Yeah. But like, the Longacre itself, like the hassle of at first of trying to buy a house, and then all the rigmarole of that, and the wear it puts on people, similar to yourself, like what would have happened to you in the crash and different. But it's forging you, like, it is fucking forging you, like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 1,000%.
There's a good few comments that we haven't.
A lot of comments.
Yeah, go on. Like a free agent.
Go on. Yeah.
What I would like to do, guys, please do like the video.
Do like and subscribe.
Obviously, when you get a chance, you might go. All the links are in the description for Maurice's social media.
Yeah.
Can I just say as well, I have a lovely hoodie, lads. If you don't like Eamon Ryan, and it says "fuck the Green Party," right? And it says "fuck the Green Party." No farmers, no food, no future. It's the only tag.
You have a lot of nice hoodies, actually. So go check that out as well. You don't push it enough.
I don't push it enough, but look, let's just look. I'm on this for our benefit. Does that make sense?
I do.
Online,
And I do believe that.
I think it's people's responsibility when you have a page and you have any sort of bit of say or spread in the world, try and help other things out. Let's get information out there. Let's get the right people out there, because the ones that are against us, they have enough working for them.
Perfect. I think what we can do is, guys, we are going to be releasing the other podcast that we recorded earlier on. We might do that in maybe near the weekend,
which got heated as well. So we've ran ourselves out of steam.
Yeah, ran out of steam. It's what we'll do is we'll wrap it up there. If you have, please like the video. Please subscribe.
Will we get through a couple of the last couple of comments first?
Yeah, go on.
You go through the last couple of comments, and then you can.
Dave O'Meara, the guards have zero interest even in the job they're doing. I think that's to do with the free speech. I really can't see how it's going to be unless they want to go specifically out for someone. Here's a bit about it. A new bill updating Ireland.
James Hughes goes, can you buy that your hoodies with cash?
No. And the reason for that is because I am very eco in the way I'm running the business, so we don't want to be wasting stock and stuff like that.
See, as I said in the beginning, he's Eamon Ryan's wet dream.
But really, what it has to. I don't want to give anyone any excuse to try and screw me.
Yeah,
and that has nothing to do with the people of this country. It has everything to do with the state. So I have all the history there of what I'm doing online. There, if they want to dip in and look at my accounts, they can do it all they like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's fair enough. But I do know what James was getting at there. You know.
I look. Would I rather? Obviously, wouldn't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just that's just
can't beat a bit of cash and claw.
Yeah. And it's more streamlined for everything I'm doing.
So a new bill update. This is probably what the definition of it. A new bill updating Ireland's laws on hate crime and hate speech has been approved by government and is currently making its way through the Shannon.
Yes.
Well,
I thought this was
it's happening.
They go through the Shannons first anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Before it's debated in the
are we having a vote on this?
No.
But are the government having?
As I said, there's lots happening. Remember this: there's lots happening on your behalf, but without your consent.
But are the
I'm very
going
disappointed
to have
in Michael D. Higgins because he's spoken a lot of shit over the years. But you know something? He's a complete totalitarian as well. His behavior in the last couple of years is ridiculous. I'd rather have McGregor, and that's saying something.
Don't talk to him about Michael D. Higgins like that.
I will. It's like America. When you are in position, there should be an age limit in the story.
I heard lots of stories about Mikey D that I can't believe. But that's for another day.
Yes.
And from all different types of stories, but we won't even go in there. I remember Pete made a couple of comments, but which are very strange, very not common for Pete
on a podcast.
On a podcast with us, yeah.
Me, you, and him.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say, and it's been done here before.
He like for weeks afterwards, he panicked about it.
Like Michael D. Higgins was just going to turn him out of the car. He's like, "Hey, what did you say about me?" Like, fucking hell. It's not the president of the country.
I just look, ultimately, I just feel that all these people have a great responsibility and they've completely let us down as a nation and continue to do so.
Positive energy. For some, it's a long overdue legislation which will finally allow the proper prosecution of certain cases.
Nonsense.
Okay.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, look, again,
for others, when you
speech is
well,
about.
That is true. That's what free speech is.
Yeah. All about.
But remember,
for others, hold on, I'll finish it. For others, it represents a degradation of key tenet of democracy, freedom of speech. Either way, it's a divided opinion.
Like it's
degradation. Sorry, I'm actually.
If you're
it's the first time ever that I've squinted at reading something, although the writing is small.
In fairness, it wasn't like you were up early this morning. Maurice was in town.
I was up early. I was doing things.
He was doing things.
I was doing things. I'm very rarely asleep.
In fairness,
I sleep with my eyes open.
We were almost on time. We were only 45 minutes late for this.
It's just offset the entire day by about 40 minutes. That's all.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
No jiving or anything.
No.
Leo Nolan, Chris. Now, come on. I don't know what that was about, but I completely
agree.
I completely agree with you.
There was a comment that was taken away there that said, "For fuck's sake, Chris,
I was
shut the fuck up."
I was brought up
Did you
here.
take it away?
I was brought up here in a state of emergency after your podcast 2 weeks ago. Isn't that right, Steve?
What's that?
I said I was brought up here in a state of emergency after your podcast 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah. You
Why?
needed backup.
I did,
rapidly.
Yeah.
I did, and I got it. I felt like I didn't have to do much tonight, and I'm delighted with that.
Oh, that's okay. I'll tackle the two of
this-
you. Bring another one the next time, right? Add more people to the podcast.
Oh, William Taylor says this lad is an Irish Alex Jones with a Hitler hairdo. But the thing is, I think he'll take that as a compliment.
I do take that. As a compliment. I take to you. You are my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Sure. See, hear that, William? You're his biggest fan.
You are my biggest fan.
After the hate speech
I love all the
bill,
ones who hate
do
me,
you
but
think
always
you'll
watch
be
me.
allowed to have this
That's a
conversation?
good comment.
After the hate speech bill,
That's
do
great.
you think you'll be able to be allowed to have this conversation? You see, that's the problem.
Absolutely not.
That's, that,
Well, we
that-
can do it live, but we can't have it recorded.
Well, see, no, with the technologies now that they're getting, there'll be buzzwords. That
Wow.
Well, we won't even be
The same
here.
as- do you remember
Let me
during
just
COVID,
say, this
when you
will
speak
all
on a
be
story?
AI. None
Yeah.
of us will be here.
Yeah.
We'll have AI videos.
Listen, in
doing
10
this
years'
for us.
time, people will be playing us in Broadway.
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna start.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah, that's an in-house
I-
joke,
I'm gonna start wearing a spare bag and pretend I'm somebody else and speak my
Oh.
mind.
right? Are you nervous about the stand-up? We've done that already.
Yeah.
No, not one bit. We'll visit you in jail. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This Longacre was a guy grazing his cattle along the side of the road.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't know that,
I'll go
Yeah,
through
no,
this
but
one.
we-
So,
and I'd love to more the history of that.
Sophie Youngman says we'd be lost without the insane. They might need to help at times, but the ideas can be great. Spike Milligan, for one, do many. And
Where is
I
that?
was up- I remember I quoted
yeah.
Spike during the Rona, and he has a poem about smiling, and it's I was walking along the street today and someone smiled at me, and when I walked past the next man I realized I passed it on to him, and it goes on like that.
Yes.
And I was doing it about
that's
the
beautiful.
fact that they masked people
okay,
and how much we couldn't read off people. That was the thing. I done it down by the
Right.
pond one day, and I was just talking about Spike, but it was Spike Milligan's
You know,
poem.
you might come across thick, but you're very. You're right.
I'm a thick cunt. There's a big difference.
That was harsh.
But you're very philosophical.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
That doesn't.
That
mean,
was-
I would
that
say to
doesn't mean
anyone,
he's intelligent at all.
I would say something. If I could rewrite my own history of education, like I left school, I was barely gone 16, and if I could go back, if I had the kind of the mental ability, we'll say, if I could do like psychology, philosophy, and stuff,
Philosophy,
I
yeah.
would love it.
Yeah.
Something in the arts. I like.
Oh,
like you've seen
100%.
some of the stuff. Like I'm not boasting, but you've seen
Yeah.
some of the stuff I write and what I say. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
actually
no,
enjoy it.
I was,
That is-
that was a
that is-
complete jibe.
That is
But like-
me.
but
like,
like-
you know,
like-
I love painting and stuff like that's
Yeah.
a side that people don't get. Like, although there's this nutty part of me that wants to thump him tonight on topics,
Yeah.
there's a very soft, gentle side.
Yes,
of me,
I know
you
there
love
is.
and
me,
that's what I love.
but
Like.
you love
Yeah.
me really.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but see, I love that we
But
can
that's
have
that's
it
but
without a
there's
tantrum.
there's
you know what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with that.
No.
Being red-blooded,
That's
being
so
passionate
weird,
about
like.
your
It's
beliefs.
so weird.
Yeah.
I-
And
I-
see, I think there's a lot of the passion is being passed on to the wrong people now.
Yes. They just scream. Do you ever see
Yeah.
them get up in the mic? And go,
Yeah,
like this?
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
but
I,
anyway.
no, I'm all about airing it out, talking it properly,
Mhm.
going from there, and that's what the Dead Hedgehogs podcast is all about.
Absolutely.
We'll do the last one. The political letdown isn't just Ireland; it's global. The political letdown isn't. You see, I should read these in my head before I read them
Yes.
out. The political letdown isn't just Ireland; it's global and simultaneous, meaning it's coordinated from the powers above politicians, BlackRock, Vanguard, Rockefeller. 100%. Like these governments are puppets for a higher
Yeah.
being.
The corporations run where
Yeah.
it's like the old adage where's the money?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
follow the
simple as
money.
that.
Follow the money.
Follow them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah,
And
listen,
we'll-
guys. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
tuning
the
in.
both of you. I'd like to say I've had a great day with the two of you.
Yeah, it was
Great
great
day.
out crack. We'll
Great
do it
day.
again.
Yeah, it's been great.
We'll definitely do it again. It has been very entertaining. Thank you so much to everyone who has
Thanks for watching.
interacted, for watching, for tuning in, for liking, for subscribing. The whole works. It was absolutely brilliant. It is great to get so many people on these lives. It makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun for everyone. It gets heated, it cools down, but we get our points across. And the best thing is we get to be friends at the end of it, and it's healthy. healthy debate, and that's what it is all about. Thank you so much for Maurice for coming up.
Thank you.
Go check him out on Instagram.
Takes a risk to even let me on.
Yeah, no, I knew I was just bringing on myself. It has been very insightful. It has been a great day. So thank you so much for coming up from Tipperary. I know Avanza Ash, where do you live? Tipperary. Yeah, and someone else asked that as well. North Tipperary.
Yeah, that's it.
So go check him out on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, but mostly on Instagram. Go check him out on Instagram. And thank you so much to Chris for doing all the computer stuff again today.
A fair opponent.
Yes, it was beautiful. And thank you so much
fun, though.
for tuning in. Yes. Until the next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay away from yourself.
Look.